Hello, welcome back to Benefits of Bipolar video series, we'll call it for now. So I've had a ton of ideas recently. I've been able to talk to a couple of people about some ideas, and they've just been flowing, which is cool. It's a lot of fun, and I was struggling to figure out what I wanted to do today, what I wanted to address, kind of where I wanted to start. And really at the end of the day, it was kind of, as it usually is, weird what led me to doing this one today, in that a couple of things reminded me of my past, of a couple, admittedly, of ex-girlfriends, um, and a few old emails that kind of re-enlightened me to what life was like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and kind of really put me back into that place momentarily. And to be completely honest, it wasn't easy. But I've been kind of thinking about putting something out there for a while. Thought about it when I started writing, and it really just kind of hit home today. I'd really like to just address my past quickly, because frankly, it was pretty ugly at a lot of times. There were some positive moments in those emails that I saw, but kind of reminded me just how bad some of it was, how bad some of my actions were towards other people, and some of my words, mostly my words. I take pride in my words, but I promise you that I was able to just as effectively use them against people. Use them to accuse people of things, to hold anything and everything against them. Really, it was just me lashing out, but I have to accept that a lot of it was, and not all of it, if not all of it or most of it, was the bipolar. But obviously, it was still me. It was still me that was going through those actions. And I mean, some of the things that I said are, I have no choice but to forgive myself for them, but I could completely understand why they'd be unforgivable in some eyes, in some people's eyes. So before I get into further episodes or whatever you want to call it, or keep writing, I just I can't continue to go on almost humble bragging about myself and how well I'm doing now without addressing that first. So just again, to start and to put it out there, I think my family all knows at this point. Um, but obviously I wasn't a good family member for a long time. I was able to step up in big points and key parts, but I'll keep that part short. That's very, privately covered with them. But to people that I can't reach out to, that I haven't been able to, if not explain myself, but explain that it wasn't their fault, really, in any way. That they weren't doing something that, I mean, first of all, could have ever deserved words like that, or reactions like that, or accusations that occurred. But truly, that it wasn't coming from me, my true self, who I always wanted to be, who they saw in the good moments. It wasn't coming from that person. It was coming from a person that was undiagnosed and unmedicated, and didn't have any resources, didn't seek out any resources, and I had ample opportunities to do so after examples of doing some really horrible things, mostly saying things to people. But in all reality, I can't go back, and there's really no other way of convincing people of this without just moving forward and making a promise to myself and to those around me, so they can keep me accountable as well, to be a better person, always, in every single way, to people I like, to people I don't like, to anybody I run into. That's my true focus. That's why I'm doing this. But to revert back, truly, if any of those ex-girlfriends of mine were to ever see this, that's what I want them to know. I want them mostly to know that I'm just sorry. I'm sorry that at times they were put through that I put them through those situations, and also just crises. I mean, putting them through crises of threatening to hurt myself or to kill myself. Even, who knows, whether I was thinking of it, whether I was actually contemplating it. I don't know. I can't remember most of those situations. unfortunately, except for some of the fallout or high lowlights, rock bottom lowlights are what I remember. I don't remember a lot of the in between, but it, it was a lot of alcohol induced, some drug induced, but just constant long cycling and cycles of hypomania and absolute mind crushing depression. And it came out in anger and irritability and horrible, horrible things that I said. So that honestly, of course, outside of my family, those are the people that I maybe can someday see this, and not that it would make them feel better. I'm sure they're 1,000 times past what happened as I would be, but maybe it'll matter a little bit. Anyways, obviously friends too. I've talked to most of you, but there are some that I have not been in contact with. There are some that I have not been in contact with since college, and I miss them. I miss them. I miss the conversations we had, and I completely understand why they're no longer in my life. I was very hard to keep track of. I didn't do a good job of calling people back, of showing up for events that I said I would. Again, there's a lot of reasons why, and I want them to know it's not because I didn't want to come. Every part of me wanted to be there, but like many things in my life at that time, I wasn't capable. Frankly, I couldn't. And for whatever reason, for whatever was going on that day or that week, or led to me having negative money in my account, either way, it wasn't being a good friend. It wasn't repaying and debts and money and nights out. And I know none of this matters now, but to me it does. To me, I remember it. And again, before I continue to go on and I continue to talk about the things that I've done to improve and the things to get me where I am today, which I strongly, strongly believe is a good person, this stuff needed to be addressed, at least in my mind. And, all I can say is that if any of them hear that, and I've already heard from a couple, and that's why I keep doing this, frankly, is because it's led me back into some friendships that I have lost. It's drawn me closer by sharing to family members and to current friends, and of course my girlfriend now, who's invaluable and who has led me in some ways down this path. But that's why I'm doing this. Frankly, that you guys are the reasons that I'm doing this. You guys are the reasons that I'm here. The time that I spent with my friends after college was, or I should say not with them, those were the only times that I felt secure and safe, but those are the people that got me through to the next morning, to the night, because I had something to look forward to, and they always welcome me back with open arms, and this is just a thank you and an apology for not always being able to do that at the time. Quickly, just to kind of move past this, I have to forgive myself. I hope everybody understands that. That's why I'm doing this. I don't want to take anything lightly, but for me to move forward, for me to move to be alive and to not be completely inside my head and crushed, soul crushed, I have no choice but to forgive myself, to understand that that is not the person who I am. Who I am is the person I am today. The person I want to be, the person I'm striving to be in the future. That's who I believe I am. I have to face my past, but at certain points I have to not leave it there, because I'll always remember it and I'll always want to refer back to it. It's important to refer back to it, but I can't beat myself up for it. And yeah, that's really it. I have to not beat myself up for it and forgive myself, and that's something that I have done very well. But obviously today, after seeing a couple of things in the past, came to the forefront again as something that I just have to keep working on, but that I felt it was important to address. So, that being said, kind of bringing it to a close here, thank you to everybody who has helped, who has pushed me along in this. My godmother, who has given me tips and pushed me back into video, and just everybody. Um, there's been some people that have reached out that are friends of siblings or friends of friends, and those little moments matter hugely. They're going to be what keep me going, and it's giving me a reason that I've never had before in life. So thank you. Moving forward, I'll try and get back to some more traditional, I guess, either art or either blog posts or mostly probably these videos. Trying to get back to just more topics around bipolar, around mental illness, men's mental illness. I have a bunch of ideas. So we're going to get back to that. I've been talking to a friend of mine. I finally have a friend who lives with bipolar as well, and hoping that she can come on as well. Get another completely different perspective. So wanted to tease that out because I think it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to get outside and go for a run and take care of myself. Thank you.